Hi, everyone. Guess what? We're back. I can't. It's going to be one of those shows already.
It is.
I need to do something really quick, so I'm going to step away for a second.
Take your time. You're still setting up. It's all right. We're that type of podcast where you see the setup. It's okay. It is okay. How is everyone? Ooh.
Turn back.
There we go.
That was so smooth.
That was
I know.
We do our own tech.
Great. Yes. Yes. We are so prepared.
We're so prepared.
We even met at 12 today. We're so prepared.
This is how we do it, y'all.
Oh my goodness. I'm Danny Terrell.
I'm Randy Ford.
And who is this to my right?
Hi. They both make L's. I'm Carla Rons. Hey, what's up, y'all?
Yes. Hey,
Come on,
what's that?
Instagram.
I was about to say Facebook. That is so not Facebook. That's
So not
Instagram.
Facebook.
We are the Living Room, and we are back for season 2. As you can see, we are together. And before y'all call the COVID police and y'all start messaging us, we just wanted to start at least this first episode together because we've been missing each other. And it is something about being in person that is really important to us. So we wanted to come together. And I know you're like, yo, Carla Rons doesn't look like J Mason Third. What kind of?
But not really.
Right. J Mason Third is away at this point in time making money moves and lending help to friends. So he will be back with us. And what we've decided to do this season is that if one of us is not here, we just bring in guests because why stop the show because one of us or two of us are not here? So you will see.
Someone said we're looking good.
What's going on? Something's never changed. Randy, what's the Living Room?
The Living Room. We are a space, just a video podcasting space where we are queer artists, activists working in the community, friends who wanted to work together. And it started off as a conversation in a car, and then it started off from the car to in front of an audience, then COVID happened, and then it went to Zoom, and then from Zoom it went to here, and then from, here with a break. Took a long break. We took a well-needed 2-month break. We left y'all in July. It was great. We needed it, and we're back at it with season 2.
Yes.
Right here. And so it's a place where we can be together, like Danny said, and we love the in-person that we can bring. So again, we started off in a living room situation, and now we're here to bring it to you. And we just talk shit. We talk about politics, talk about pop culture, talk about art, because again, we are all creatives here in Seattle, Pacific Northwest, hallelujah. And we have multi-generational perspectives. So, we're just here to talk and have you watch us. We're not that conceited, we promise.
But
it's
something special about what's going on with this, us kicking it off this season. So last year, September 20th through the 22nd, around that time, someone did a not so little show.
Oh, yes. Come on.
That was one of the thank you. That was one of the catalysts for also doing the Living Room. What was that show that someone did? Not you. What was that show that someone did?
Queen Street.
Oh, by who?
By Randy Ford.
What's that?
I don't know who she is.
You never heard her, seen her.
I may have heard of her.
Yeah, changed my life.
Yeah.
Honestly, so beautiful. If you didn't see it,
You missed it.
yeah. Facts.
I mean, that's so solid. You missed it.
Yes.
And it was supposed to go on tour, like so many things.
It was supposed to go on tour, like
No shade, but
Mm-hmm.
Cats destroyed us. I will talk about it later. But I played 2020 on cats. I'm just saying.
That's
And
so
if you've been following my posts, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. But we will talk about that later. It is not about that. So we are celebrating Queen Street. We are super excited to have Carla Rons here.
Woo!
Like, I'm super excited because this is the first time like us just like really, really being in space together. So I'm super excited that we're here and we get to talk to you. What else?
We are recorded, just so you all know. And so if you are, and on our platforms, both Instagram Live and on whatever platform, if you're on Facebook Live, you can leave a comment, I believe on YouTube as well. Your comments will come directly to us. If you do not want your name to be known or seen as you leave a comment, don't leave a comment, because we're going to read the comments, because that's, again, what's part of the living room. You get to chime in with us. Like, again, you know, the person who's talking through the movie, and you're like, stop talking through the movie. It's just like that sentence. So, again, leave your comment, chime in, not too much. Don't get crazy, okay? And then, yeah, as we get through this, you'll just, again, you'll go with the flow and everything like that. We also have a commitment to collective growth. We are a queer, Black, trans-centered, focused space.
Period.
If you are outside of those identities and you are, you know, coming in and visiting our space, visit the space. Period. We are not going to center you in your perspective and your feelings. We're going to center ours. We will take control of the space. If whatever gets too out of control, just know that we are in control of this platform, and say that then. So if you didn't want us, go somewhere else.
Yes.
Point blank in the period. So offer up your own, if you're commenting, make sure you just own up to your own experience. Don't talk for anyone else, talk for yourself. And especially if you don't identify as queer, trans, or Black, really talk for yourself. And then we'll get along swiftly. We'll get along swiftly on all 3 platforms.
Right. And if you are making comments, please use Facebook or YouTube to make your comments. We'll also read comments off of Instagram. Please comment. That's all you need to do is just comment. We have some changes that you'll slowly start to see happening in the next few months, less than that. And we're just teasing you.
Yeah, we really are. It's like we're
Teasing.
that's just
Right. That's all you get. So you will see some changes happening. Because we really care about this program, we care about this platform, so we want to make sure that it's a stronger, better experience for you all. And so we have some lovely cis Black men that are hetero that are at our service.
bless them.
I'm saying that like they really love us and they really are supporting us, so you will see that happen. But shout out to the cis hetero Black men who really value queer spaces and queerness, and they want to be there to support the things that we're doing. So I do want to make sure that as we talk about cis folks, we also talk about the ones that are doing the work and they are not asking to have their names uplifted. That's why I'm not saying their names.
Hello.
But they believe in what we're doing here. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention also. We are at a quarantine house party, so we're not really quarantined.
Not really.
But we are in a space that used to be my bedroom,
You know?
and now we changed it into not my bedroom anymore. So that's where we're at right now. That's all I can say.
Yeah, we're trying to be as responsible as we can.
Boom.
Boom.
We went through all our COVID safety protocols, so all of that. So one of the things that we do in the living room, sorry, there's a lot going on. I'm like going through my own private summer. She is old.
You're doing great things for the world. Darker the berry, the sweeter the you. Hello.
Boom. One of our segments.
And I just had to say that.
One of our segments is blessings and bullshit. This is where we talk about.
It's like a rose or thorn of the week, your blessing, a highlight.
Right.
Since we've been gone for 2 months, this is going to be a little bit of a synopsis of our little breaky break. And bullshit, what's maybe something that's heavily on your heart, something that's affecting your bag, something that you just grind your gears, you know, it's something that's bullshit. I can start us off. So, My God. So, our break happened in July, and we said we're gonna take a break. I didn't. I just kind of continued doing the things. So, I did though. One of my blessings was I got a new car.
Yes. Absolutely.
And I am on my 3rd month of making those payments, like officially. And so it'll be my
She grown.
3rd month. I've been grown paying these bills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Grown.
time.
Grizzled. On time. It was late the first time. But I got it on
It's
time
paid.
the next time. It's paid. No, well, this is the thing. Car companies can kiss my ass during this time because why is there a fee to pay your car note? There's a fee to call, there's a fee to mail it in, there's a fee to send it in. I'm like, y'all are really racking up your money.
Right. Just to take my money.
We should do that with organizations and businesses that want us to work.
Yeah, just charge them for literally pressing send.
Like if you want me to call you, it's a fee. Like if you want to hold a meeting with me, it's like a fee.
I read this email. I'm gonna send you an invoice.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's a fee.
Okay? Like we
Just
really
saying,
should.
For real.
We really should. And speaking of invoices, I've been sending my invoice to a new company that I've been kind of working with, which is really exciting. And I get to kind of talk about it, but I've been directing with the Cuts. And I directed my first segment, and you'll see Black trans women play truth or drink with their mothers or their parents or their fathers.
Right.
And it's gonna be really fun. You're gonna see a lot of things coming up really soon. Cut knows how to edit some stuff and send it to a girl. I'm also in the editing process. I'm like, I get to review it and approve stuff and all the things. So I'm really, really, really excited. It was super fun. Filming and shooting our first segment. This wasn't even one of my ideas that I pitched to them. They just added me on as they loved all of my other 10 ideas that I pitched. So I'm ready. Your girl's ready to do a lot more than just dance. So, we're gonna get in there. Bullshit. And we're gonna get more into it later, of course. But my bullshit, my big, big, big bullshit is make it make sense how we surpass the number of Black trans folks. Last year total.
Yeah, and it's just
September, going to be August.
yeah.
Make it make sense. Where are the riots? Where are the loots? Where are the protests? Where are the march? We're gonna talk about it later. But make it make sense. I'm popcorn it to begin.
So my blessing is, and probably why I've been not really active, is that everyone knows, if you know me, I talk a lot about The Little. The Little is a very feisty child. Donnie, Marlon's and I's nephew, Donnie and his mom Desiree used to live with us, and then they moved back to Michigan. And so I was missing my baby. So we went in August and picked him up and brought him to Seattle for 3 weeks. A 22-month-old who is so full of personality. This child is a diva. This child is beautiful. This child is lovely. I just had a really great time. This child is medicine. This child is so horrible. Okay, so when we were taking this baby home and we were at the airport and the child was not eating, wouldn't eat on the plane. So I think something affects taste buds on the plane. So the child was no, not eating. So we were in the airport. I believe we were in Chicago's airport. And Donnie was in the stroller. And I was just like, okay, we'll give you something to eat. My phone was not mine for 3 weeks. So seriously, if you tried to get in contact with me, I did not know where my phone was at half the time because that child had my phone. So we were at the airport and the child had my phone. And I was like, here's something to drink. This is what this child did. Looking down on the phone, bring that drink towards me. Bring that towards me. This is what the child did. Without even looking at me.
Wow.
One finger and pushed it away.
Wow.
And Marlon and I looked.
Learning.
I was like, did you throw that much shade, little child? It was hilarious. So it was really beautiful to be able to just sit and be auntie to that child and just cater to their needs and laugh and love. And if anyone knows, that child is also attached to my hip when he's around me. So that was really beautiful. That was a big blessing for us. The other blessing is really just something that is really starting to hit me about us walking into my purpose. As artists, we tend to like want to be out there. We want to do these things, and I was reminded of this song. It's a gospel song, but I listen to a lot of gospel music.
Okay.
Just because I just yes.
Amen.
I give myself away so you can use me. And
Wow.
wow. And there's another song by Jessica Reedy called "I Just Want to Be Free." But I give myself away so you can use me. It's just the point of me just saying like, I keep doing this art thing, and is it serving the purpose of helping humanity? Is it serving the purpose of setting Black folks free? Is it serving the purpose that I wanted to serve? And a lot of times, for me, not anybody else, for me, the answer is no. Why am I doing the things that I'm doing? So I'm in the process of like shifting my focus when it comes to art, when it comes to those type of things, because I have to, I need to, I want to. So you'll see more of that. I'm still producing art stuff, but it's not hitting me the way that
You're producing.
I am producing a lot.
Producing.
And we'll talk more about that later. Bullshit. Okay. Let me hold on.
First order of business. Let's really put it in perspective.
So,
Tell us what's on your heart.
on the plane ride back to Seattle from Chicago, you know, you scroll through, you're like, oh, what movies do I want to see? And you're just like, okay. I'm scrolling through, and it's like, I'm like, no, no. And then I was like, why not? Let's just see what people are talking about. I had to repent. I saw the movie Cats.
Ooh.
The one that came out like December of 2019. She is what made COVID happen. She is what it was. And I'm not even joking when I say Cats was like one of the worst movies that I've ever seen in my life. Don't. Okay, I did say earlier, the only way to see Cats if you indulge in street pharmaceuticals. Uppers, downers, mushrooms, weed. Like, if you indulge in that, then you probably get a kick out of it.
Okay.
I don't indulge. I was on the plane. I was like, you know, I'm a dancer. I mean, let me just see how bad it was. It was really bad.
Oh no.
Can I say there were dancing cockroaches?
No.
Can I say I didn't even get through the whole movie? That's how bad it was.
No.
Idris Elba couldn't save it.
He's fine.
Right.
He's fine.
Who was it? Jason Derulo.
Oh yeah, he was cute in preview.
Oh. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Singing this.
Jennifer Hudson could say, like, when I say, like, even the dancing was subpar. I mean, like, it was, look, y'all, blame 2020 on
Not
Cats.
even good dancing. I thought it would at least have good dancing.
No, it had
minimum.
dancing.
Right?
It had dancing.
They had dancing. Thank you.
So I'm just going to say, I'm warning you, save yourself some time. I don't care if you love Cats. I don't care if you love the musical. Like, I think every time someone clicks on it, a disaster happens.
Oh no.
I clicked on it.
And that's why everything keeps happening.
Yes.
People keep watching it.
People keep watching
It's
Cats.
like the rain.
See.
The curse keeps going.
Oh.
So I'm just saying,
There we go.
like,
There we go.
don't click on Cats.
I'm done. I'm
Okay.
staying out watching it. My ass will stay out watching it.
I'm saying I think the only way you can get away from it if like cats knows you're high.
If they know it.
If they know it.
Okay.
But I think they know, like, there's something in the side that they're like, click, that person's not high, destruction.
They kind of know every single stream of this, trying to make
Yes. And they're like, oh, that person's high, okay, no destruction. Like, I think that's what it is. So just don't watch
Just
cats.
don't.
So,
Just don't. The
I'm
flags
just-
are lined up.
I'm good.
yes. I mean, Jesus was like, I can't help y'all, cats was made.
Like, I tried.
God was like, I didn't do this one.
All
So,
y'all got was
So y'all-
people
yes. Baby, for real. Okay, I'm done. Don't watch Cats. The musical.
Don't watch it. Just don't.
Yes, Carla
See you
Ryan.
next time. No.
Right.
My blessing. So I'm moving to a new apartment tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of a big deal. Yeah, I've been here for 5 years. I've been in the same apartment, and
Wow.
so it's like, one of those moments where like your whole everything shifts. So, but it's good. It's exciting. I'm excited for new because I need something new, and fresh to liven up this year. Because honey, she's spoiled. 2020 is rancid. At this point. What else? Oh, so was back on set, socially distanced. We were all masked set before y'all go in this weekend for a film that's gonna be coming out.
Ooh.
I'm doing this because it's gonna be spooky. It's gonna be out in the spooky times. But yeah, this is
COVID
really
Halloween.
music. It just was really nice being on set with, very few, but a couple other artists and with lights and, and reminding me of my purpose, and why and creating something, together. And it was so nice as opposed to, which is why I think we're here in person too, as opposed to making the content at home by yourself. It's just not,
Yes.
not quite the same.
Mhm.
So yeah, blessings, the house down boots. And then
Yes.
bullshit is just, it's always the same. It's always work. Not the creative work, but the thing that pay the bills work.
Another job.
A lot of corporate white women doing the things
Most.
that
Yes.
they do sometimes. And our office is basically riding on the backs of me and another older black woman right now. And we're like running the office with no support. So that's just, it's a really, but gotta eat. For now. So, we'll get through, we will persevere, because that's what black folks do.
Hey. Did you?
Yeah, that was the film.
Oh.
Okay. Cute.
Oh, yeah, and also we are planning a little community event, a little ball.
Community event, socially distanced, outdoor.
Mask required.
Mask required.
There will be patrol, me, literally.
Okay.
It's gonna be my job, is making sure y'all are behaving. There will be whistles involved. So, just saying, but there will be a ball happening outdoors at Jimi Hendrix Park next Saturday. So, next Saturday, not this one.
The
but-
26th.
Yes.
Thank you, Dave.
Yes. 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Yes, if you're gonna catch a flight, honey, it's
Exits that way.
But yes, House Noir, our little community event, publicly as a collective, officially group thing. So yeah, exciting. I'm sure we'll touch on it.
We will talk about the little Kiki scene. And then on to our men topic. Well, also tell us what your blessings and bullshit are as well, if you feel like it, in the comments, and we'll bring it up as we move along. But we're gonna
And
get
also, just wanted to throw this in, like,
yes.
well, periodically, I cannot talk for real be doing things like this. Pay her.
Pay us. When we flash the ticker, when you see this comment pinned,
Pay.
pay us.
I know.
Pay us.
You know, so you see,
Pay
like,
us, please. We're working on great
you know,
things.
cash out. Like, we really are working on
We're working on
things.
great things. We're doing it like most successfully. So please pay us.
Pay him.
Mm-hmm.
Colorado.
Okay.
Just saying.
Ooh, maybe we'll put the Royal House of Noir cash out.
Oh,
And
shit.
share as well,
Yeah,
too.
we got racing.
Mhm.
Pay her.
Pay her. Pay her. But yes. So as we move along, please pay us, please spread the word, please share that we're on. You know, some people are like, ooh, what's going on Wednesday? Ooh, it's smoky outside. We'll talk about the smoke in a second. But yeah, just, you know, interact with us. Throw some cash. Okay. Let's get into these main topics. Let's start with the
Oh,
smoke.
wait, let's start this. Somebody
Ooh.
talking about, let me know if you need any house plans for the new apartment.
Oh,
Yes, hit up Colorado,
Please.
please. Yes.
I would love that.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Mhm.
Walter, you can also hit me up if you're not in contact with Colorado, and I can connect you too.
Hello.
Yes, you better give up them house plans.
That's a
Yes.
Star Wars Christmas special. Worker.
Yes, that,
Oh, it's worse than the Star Wars Christmas special.
and Star Wars Christmas
Got it.
special
Oh,
is
yeah.
horrible.
Star Wars.
I never watched that either. See, I'm good.
You
I'm
weren't
doing
born.
great. Oh. Anyway.
She wasn't born.
Can't see that. So when I am born in the Pacific Northwest here
Yeah,
in Seattle. Born.
They're born.
And as you all know, we are experiencing forest fire smoke up the fucking nine. Our atmosphere, I believe when I checked, was in like the 200s as far as like the toxicity. I don't know what it is. I don't know what that means. But when we're on this heated mat, we're all red and stuff. You know what I mean? And the rest of the world is not. So it's just like, and it's pinpointed directly in Seattle. And so we're just like in the thick of it, like the thick of it. And I saw people out at restaurants today still. I'm like, what is wrong with outside on the patio, no mask? I'm like, y'all, I understand. Read us to fill. But if you're out on a patio in this atmosphere, eating out, getting a drink, going to Fogon, going to whatever, I'm gonna be calling out all of you. I'm sorry. I'm so upset. I am so upset. We have all these homeless folks out here who can't escape the shit.
Right.
And we have only one center that's housing homeless folks. That's 80 people out of the thousands that are homeless
Like
here.
tons of abandoned buildings.
Tons of abandoned buildings, tons of free air quality, you know what I mean? Like free air, free space, and they're not using it. And so it's really just like, wow. Like not only can I not breathe, I'm just like upset even more because people still don't get it.
Yeah.
And it's just really like disheartening. It's like, wow. And it's like, and again, I can't be too hard on people because again, I'm not perfectly socially distancing, right? Whatever, and all that stuff, cool, whatever. But like, there is eateries, you know, give the waiters a break, please. Give the waiters a break.
It's
Give
like
yourself a break.
yeah.
Order out, okay? Like order out, tip your Grubhubs, you know what I
Grocery
mean?
store.
Like go to the grocery store, go to the produce aisle. I've been eating out, I can't talk too much, you know what I mean? But like, let's stop eating out really quick and it's really like, okay, let's see why we can't get these buildings to have these folks socially distanced, you know what I mean? We can't cram everyone because we're still in a pandemic.
Right.
But like Seattle should have more more housing resources than we have, and the infrastructure should be there. Like it literally should be there, and it's just really. What do y'all think about it? Like,
I mean, the whole idea of public safety is, I mean, people, I don't think really know what that means anymore or care. You know, that it's not about the greater good of everyone. It's kind of like, well, my business needs to make money and I understand, people have to eat and those people have to provide for their families. So like it's very complex, but at the end of the day, I feel like there's a lack of kind of compassion, for people as a whole. Like we're not thinking collectively as a group. We need to come together, you know. But let me just set that soapbox aside.
You know, and this is the third summer we've had forest fire smoke.
Right.
You would think.
Let's not talk about the cause,
You know-
the gender reveal.
You know,
How embarrassed is that family? I read their names and everything. I was on Facebook. Who is this? 47,000 acres, y'all, for a gender reveal. Disrespectful.
this. Okay, wait. Can you give me
What
some
happened to the
context?
cake? Remember when they used to do the cake?
Right? Wait. Give me some context.
I just want to know, are these people being charged with anything? Because there's also
yes.
murders that have taken place. I mean, well, people are dead because of the fires.
Right.
Destruction, there's all of these things. Why are we not talking about those folks in this display of an ostentatious display of trying to save their child? It is whatever. And so much destruction has taken place. Like, are we talking about? I'm going to shut up.
Yeah. Like, why do we need to enjoy things? Why do we need to like damage things to enjoy things? You know, or why do people have to lose something in order for people to enjoy?
It's a very
things? You know what I mean?
American,
Mhm.
I feel like ideal.
Right.
It's a worldly
or
thing.
capital. You know,
Right.
it's just very selfish. You know.
Exactly.
It makes no damn sense.
Yeah.
It makes no damn sense. So that's happening.
Right.
You know, we're living in a thickly cloud.
Another thing that has taken place.
Yeah.
Let's see. Chop, Chaz.
Shut down.
I
I
mean,
don't think you can go to Cal Anderson right now. Is it open? Is it closed?
I'm driven past. They preserved the Black Lives Matter mural. Shout out to the artist who made that. But I've never.
The garden, I think it's still pretty much there. I don't know if people are allowed to attend it or anything. It's a sad area.
There's that area.
what do I want to say?
Mhm.
Was it really being done for Black people and Black lives? Marlon and I went down there once to try to support some Black women doing an event, and it just didn't feel right. And so we left. As much as we wanted to like support Black women because what they were doing was really, really beautiful and powerful. It was about Black joy. And we just left. Chaz is no longer a thing. Family was like, is everything okay? Are you all fine? Like, we're fine. Like, we don't go down there. We don't live in the area. But that's all I can say is like, was it really about Black people and what was actually accomplished? And I know some people will have some pushback to that statement. But again, I'm like, if you're not moving humanity forward, then what's the real thing? What's really happening? When we went down there, like these women were in a car in a convertible, and this man was driving them around, and they were like, "Black Dick Matters," and I was just looking at them like, "Really? That's okay. Well, it's time to go." So I don't know. Chaz happened. As a result, Black bodies were still getting killed. Still getting killed today. Breonna Taylor's family just received $12 million settlement, but it's really not enough because you can't put a price on Black lives.
Yeah.
Karens or Kevins and whoever are still going wild. We're just gonna feel like synopsis. I'm putting all this together. We'll talk about that in a second. Spend a little bit more time with that.
Yes. Ridiculous.
Yes, entanglements.
You know, entanglements happen.
Honey.
You know, in pop culture.
What you got to say, Carl?
What you got to say?
That's my new phrase for every relationship now because it's so ambiguous that
You throw out
I'm in
the
an
ambiguity.
entanglement with my dog. You know, it's just like what does that even mean? I don't know, but I love it because Black Books created it. So in that way, I'm like, come on, entanglement.
Right.
I haven't met anyone that used entanglement yet, like in real life. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I need entanglement, but yes, that was a. Why did there have to be a song about it? though. Like that's what killed me. Why did there have to be a song?
We got
And
it.
why Rick Ross of all the people?
Came out of the dungeon that he was
Like you already came out of nowhere with a song, what, 3 days after the damn interview?
He was
But
waiting.
he busted that
Wait.
He was
track.
waiting.
Maybe it was
Ow.
coordinated. You know,
'Cause
how
I'm
they do
like-
media, I mean,
He was waiting.
And Jada just took one for the team, was like, okay, you can make a song about it. And oh,
Let's talk about that though. So we're not talking about Will's entanglements.
oh, that's what I
also.
We're talking about Jada's entanglements because that one became public because
Oh,
men
oh.
can't
yeah.
shut up.
Mhm.
As you can see, Will's entanglements, they was like, we're keeping that on lockdown because whatever agreement that they had. But this little
On
thing
paper.
on paper, this little thing, he just couldn't keep his mouth closed.
Sure can.
And whatever you feel about Jada and all of that, she's also a woman that is fine as hell. That before WAP came out, she was taking care of her WAP when Will wasn't.
Wow.
Hello.
Wow.
Was she just gonna do sit around?
Wow.
I mean, we make Black women the villains in so many things
Easily.
easily, especially when they are just doing the same thing that Black male folks do. And when Black women finally take control of who they are and what they want,
Back at you.
oh my God, they use it as like, she should have done this, she should have done that. And just because you didn't hear about Will's extras does not mean that they don't exist. Because if you're
Hello.
stupid enough to think that they don't exist, you ain't watching the news too closely.
Yep.
This one just kind of like, he just, okay, and we're going to talk about the entanglement hair.
What's that?
Did y'all
No, what is that?
didn't see the hair that he had?
Oh,
Also,
his
Keisha Cole
wig.
had the hair.
Yes.
And
you didn't see
also-
his hair?
Also, Khalees had the hair.
He
When you
had-
are in a horrible situation in a relationship,
You didn't
there's
see
particular hair that you have.
Oh.
That-
That's funny. I never heard of that correlation.
I have the same hair color. That's
Oh no.
Yeah, that's
Keisha Cole had it and Khalees had it.
Oh.
I had it. I'm not gonna lie. Life was
You
hard.
had it.
I had the color.
Your roots
I
were
had
like that?
yes. So that's why I saw that. I was like, yes, that is a real thing. When you have,
Why is it those
You know
colors?
you going.
Break those
you going through it. You
Like a
just,
mood ring.
you just like, I don't care. Like, you just want the world to know, like, you just don't give a fuck no more. So you just do all sorts of things. I swear to God, I got the hair.
Oh,
And I was going through hell.
Wow, Danny.
See, I haven't. Ooh, no, I hadn't even seen.
You
I haven't
hadn't seen
interview.
the Keisha Cole interview.
No, I want
Keisha went off. Keisha went off. Yeah.
So-
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Okay.
just saying, the entanglement here is
That's the I should have
real.
cheated here.
No, that's the like, I am hurt and I just want this person in my life. So I just don't know. That's what that hair is.
Wow, you just really made that super.
So if you see someone with that hair coloring,
You better empathize.
just know that they're probably going through a really bad breakup or something.
Speaking of breakups,
I'm trying not to laugh.
I
It's
know,
not
right?
funny.
It's not.
But
Speaking of breakups, I recently broke up with my partner. You know, and that person, yeah, you know, yeah, I'm moving through it. You know, I'm not gonna color my hair.
Yeah, you're gonna buy that.
I will not.
Salmon.
they may color their hair.
I will not be dyeing my roots any type of anything. I tend to. I might put a wig on. You'll see maybe a
It's
crazy
gonna be
wig.
that color.
You'll see a wig with like maybe a track missing or something, and y'all gonna be like, "Ooh, girl, get her, get her."
She's broken up.
You know, she's broken up. You know, and they suck. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you, they suck. No matter how, super, like, ooh, I'm proud of myself for doing what I did and, staying true to myself. You be like, damn,
It's hard.
it's hard. So, work with your girl also, even though I might be seemingly well, just know that's also happening. And yeah, I can only imagine what breaking up with Jada Pinkett Smith would be like. You know what I mean?
That's
Just devastating. Because I would have.
She put it down.
right.
Period.
She
You
put
know
it
she
all
did.
the way down.
You know she did. And so, I've been able. What'd you say?
That he didn't deserve her.
Didn't. One of the things I do though, in the midst of dealing with things, is staying busy. That's kind of one of my coping mechanisms. It kind of helps a little bit. Sometimes it doesn't. But, I was luckily able to take over Ben de la Crème's Instagram
Yeah.
in the midst of all of that. And again, I think jump into myself and realize where I'm at as a person, as an artist, as a creative, as an advocate. I've been really, just like sitting and thinking about what is it that I want to do?
Right.
And am I doing it? What's getting in the way of that?
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of just like where I'm at right now. And I've been again blessed, with the opportunities and stuff that I've been getting. I've been blessed to have a community of people that validate and hold me when I need to and stuff like that. So, I hope that August has a community around him. Because I can only imagine what I would be going through if I didn't have none of y'all, if I didn't have my family, close that I can call, you know what I mean? So, stuff on top of the pandemic just always, seems real extreme nowadays, you know what I mean?
Everything.
And it's just so it's like your ups, your downs, your downs, So, yeah, all the mixtures of things and stuff, it's crazy. It's crazy. Speaking of a big up, though, I must say, Niecy Nash. First of all,
Wait. Niecy Nash says her marriage to Jessica Betts was a going into myself, not a coming out.
Period.
Let's start there. Let's talk about that. Now, what were we going to say? Sorry to cut you off. I just
No,
wanted to
thank you. Thank you for blessing us. For those of you that don't know who Niecy Nash is, one, she's the finest auntie I've ever seen in my life. One, I wasn't a real Reno 911 type of fan, but I enjoyed her in her guest kind of roles
I
and
did
stuff.
love that show.
You love that show? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I did happen to watch Claws though, and I actually stand for it a little bit actually. Even for Karuchi. Right? Claws is actually a really good show. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's actually a really good show. The drama, the acting, the plot, how they surrounded it around a nail shop, and money, drugs, and shit, embezzlement, all that stuff. It's all in there. It's really, really nice.
Right.
But Niecy Nash, and she also played a really great role in When They See Us. Is it that one? No. Central Park 5. Which one is that?
When They See Us.
When They See Us, right? Yes, on Netflix. Yes.
Yes.
I always get that movie mixed up with all the other Black movies.
Right.
You know what I mean? But she also played, one of the moms, and she had a cute kiss. That was her first dramatic role I've seen her in. She's really she killed it. She was amazing, and it was she was a mother of a trans woman, also,
Right.
and she didn't come out, but she was like, I'll give y'all a peek into my life. Here's my fine ass wife.
Beautiful wedding.
Beautiful wedding photos. Niecy Nash. First of all, her birthday photo reveal earlier this year was sickening.
I didn't see that.
And so she's been winning. She's been winning
So-
it. And
I have a question about all of this.
mm-hmm.
Is it that people are just finding love in who they find it with, or do you think people are just like, I was secretly in the closet, or is it for her? She's like, this is just who I wind up loving. A lot of people are going back and forth. It's just her, and well, I've been living this life. They're trying to dictate to her
How queer she is. Basically.
Yes.
On how
And so,
out she
what are
is.
your thoughts about that?
I think for her as a cis Black woman who like is socially read as that as well too, and probably assumed heterosexual as well maybe, because I had no speculation for being queer until I found out she was, and I was like, okay, you know, like
Right.
you know whatever that is, and I'm all about people like again not having to put things because I'm all about like I don't know. There are lifestyles that are queer that are there that are visibly like seen different. There's a culture around being seen as different, right? Like I've never been able to pass it straight, like, ever. You know? And so for people who are passed as hetero or straight or cis or whatever, I think there's often this time of like, well, you know, if you can't see it, so what like, and it's just like, I don't want to ever dictate anyone's queerness, Blackness even sometimes when it comes to that, because like I don't know where people are in their journey. I think the journey is the journey. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like I think it's great that she told us, but I really don't care about like people's orientations or who they're loving with like that to a point. You know, we put a lot of stuff on who are you dating? Who are you sleeping with? Da 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 da. And I have no interest in knowing any of that. Half the time I'm interested in like artists, actors, whatever. I'm just like, I really don't. I want to know the other stuff. Sure, cool, we can relate that way, but like I'm really not interested. But I think it's still beautiful. And like again, that this type of love can, especially between two Black femmes, I'm all about and just I'm just all for it.
Can we just take a sip of mind your own damn business?
Just mind your business.
Hello. Yeah, just celebrate the joy. I think that it was for, you know, a lot of Black people and a lot of queer people, it was just more about celebrating the joy of Black love and Black joy than about, oh, she's coming out. Like,
Yeah,
I
no.
don't care less. If it was, if you know, it was, you know, she was about to have a husband or whatever, but like, I think it was, you know, added a little like, yes, we got another one, you know.
Look.
You know, or like family we didn't know we had. You know, when you find out you had that cousin that you didn't know y'all was actually cousins, but now y'all know y'all cousins.
Right.
It was like one of those moments, you know.
Yeah, I just all right.
When's your birthday?
February 5th.
She's February.
February 23rd.
Still cool.
50.
70, yeah.
She's 50.
No.
She's 5'4".
50.
She seems so much taller than
I
5'4".
don't know. She's shocked.
Right. And I think the thing like with like Niecy Nash and or just anybody, again, I say this like just if we would just mind our own business and if she shows up with her wife, then let her. Because it's really at the end of the day doing nothing to you. Like she's a celebrity and we know what comes with celebrity and we know like people in news and that and whether she's trying to stay relevant or not, like that ain't even none of my business. But if more people would just mind their own damn business, the world would be a better place. Like it's just that simple. It's just we're so busy trying to dictate what people can do and should do, and how they should live their life. And it's like, look, if they ain't sleeping with you, why are you worried about it?
Why are you worried about it?
So anyway, Niecy Nash. I'm
We see you,
saying,
baby. We
do you?
Ashe.
Congratulations.
Do you?
keep it. Keep showcasing us that fine
right.
Friday and your fine self too,
Hello.
honey, because I love it. Beauty, Black girl magic.
Yes. Because I love pop culture. P Valley.
Let's talk about
I May Destroy You.
Oh, let's talk about it.
And WAP.
Let's
I
talk.
haven't seen the first two.
You haven't seen P Valley?
No.
Get into Pussy Valley.
Get
That's
into
what it
Pussy
stands
Valley.
for.
On what?
Stars or Amazon to get the stars.
Yes.
I need somebody's password.
I got you.
DM us or
I'll give
message
you
us
my
your
Amazon.
account.
Yes.
Comment your
Oh
account.
yeah, reparations. We got a free stars account.
I can.
Or you can
Okay.
just cash app us money so we can
Right.
get a subscription.
Right. I'm just gonna
Right.
say that P Valley. Okay, where do I even start? cast alone,
The cast.
I would be bisexual for the cast.
Mm.
That is how fine everybody in the cast is.
Everyone.
Everybody.
What's the like short?
Getting into
We're gonna a dramatic synopsis.
So-
The season just ended.
it. Just
okay.
ended.
Just
So I can
8
go binge
episodes.
watch the whole
Yes.
thing. 'Cause I don't like to
8
wait.
episodes.
Mercedes
Mercedes.
is the bottom bitch, and I found out what a bottom bitch is. So
Chakalusa.
she is not actually the bottom bitch; she's the top bitch. So they call her the bottom bitch. So that means Uncle Clifford is a trans queer owner of a strip club in the Mississippi Delta.
Okay.
Uncle Clifford is like fly as hell, outfits, hair, nails, like everything. Beard. She gives you everything. And so Mercedes has been working for Uncle Clifford for a really long time. And the plank,
The Pank. Pussy Valley Pank.
yes, the plank is what it's called, not the pink,
The
the
Pank.
plank.
Look,
So
yeah.
it's a strip club, and so Autumn Night is this mysterious character that comes in, and there's M.I. quick letter I, quick letter
Come back.
Mississippi. Yes. And then there's the murder, the mother, and then Autumn Night is sleeping with this other guy who he had a nude scene.
The new
Okay,
And
the
it's on
guy,
Starz,
yes,
you know,
and the guy that Autumn Night is with played Barack Obama in one of the Barack Obama movies.
South, the one with him and Michelle. What was it? South.
Southside with Me,
Southside,
baby.
Yeah.
It wasn't there.
It wasn't
Yes, it
there.
was Southside with Me. So he played. So anyway, and then there's Diamond, who's the bouncer.
Diamond? And this ain't Diamond like the Players Club. This is the masked version of Diamond.
He
the
is-
trade Diamond.
He is. I'm just gonna say, like, so I just want to say, just P Valley, just watch P Valley.
Everything. The
That's
stripping is everything. They have
Yes, that's
actual
Uncle Clifford.
actors who can strip, like actual strippers who can act. It's like the stripping, the act, the
Mercedes
music.
is a dancer.
Mercedes dances. She's also, and I love Mercedes' story because she's a dancer and also a teacher.
Yes.
And so I'm like, bitch,
English
that's
teacher.
like literally she teaches like this group of like young girls how to dance. And I'm just like,
In real life, she's an
in-
English teacher.
in real life she's an English teacher.
And she used to dance for Little Wayne
Yes.
on tour.
Mm-hmm. And in the show, she plays a
I'm
stripper
telling you.
who's in the education system. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's like it's really good.
And then Auntie Loretta Devine is in that movie,
And then
in that show. And she's
All right.
hilarious.
She's a fucking dude.
Yeah, so that is just, if you don't know what P Valley is. Oh, it was created by Katori Hall. Katori Hall, P Valley, which was Pussy Valley, was actual stage play that Katori Hall wrote. And so the beautiful thing about that show also is that every episode is directed by a woman, film presenting person.
Yes.
And you can tell how the show was shot, that like it is women at the helm of this show. And yes, I'm just gonna say
Mhm.
that's it.
All the dudes are new frontal.
Watching it.
All the frontal.
Watching it. We're gonna end this early. So
I know.
You see their V's to the valley.
Yes.
And their P's at the end of the
Yes.
valley. It is so good. Oh, it's such a good show. I May Destroy You.
Yeah,
Also being another sickening show. It's a lot.
Amazing thing.
it's a lot.
It's a lot. Definitely drink or indulge in something to relax your body as you watch it because it's very deep and very triggering, especially with the content.
I mean,
and the
we've watched
subject
like two
matter.
episodes and pause, so we have to finish it because it's really heavy. But Michaela, I can't think of Michaela's last name.
Michaela Cole.
Michaela Cole, thank you,
Mhm.
Michaela Cole. Just
So
beautiful,
good.
chewing gum. She was at the helm of chewing gum and a few other
Cheekbones, mother of
cheekbone,
cheekbones.
right? So just watch that.
So good. That's on HBO.
Yes, yes.
And then
The WAP.
the WAP. Can we talk about WAP? David, okay. David is so funny. He was like, okay, Randy, wouldn't it be phonetically WAP? since it's WAP. And I'm like, David, can we not complicate things? Like, she said what she said. It's WAP.
She said,
It's okay if there's an A there. It's not WAP, WAP, WAP. It's wet ass pussy. Wet ass.
It's proper English.
It's proper English. It's soft A. It's soft A. Wet ass pussy. WAP. We made a reaction to it. Dandy. We posted on Instagram. People loved it. David's leg wins. Wow. Wow.
Where to begin?
Where to begin? Okay, the song. There's some hoes in the house. There's some hoes in the house. There's some
Have you heard the
hoes
radio
in the house.
version?
I have. That's some
Why?
wet. That's some wet.
The half of the song is ooh, ah, ooh.
And this is my.
That, I was like, that's not the word. I want the real word.
I want, you can't even say dingling thing in the back of the throat.
Yes.
How do you?
I'm like, why are they? Right. What is it? What is it? I like the way in Gushy, how come they can't say
You
that?
can't say big D for big demeanor. I was like,
Because they bottom feeder? Like, stop censoring Black women. Stop censoring Black art. I wish we could get to a point where we can just cuss and have the media we want. And we just talk to people, and just talk about why content is the way it is and why words mean things
Right.
and why music matters and why, all the things. Like,
Let's just say this song was not the worst.
it's not the worst song.
None of them was the worst, but you have Nasty Girl, Vanity 6. I was listening to that.
Like,
Janet Jackson, Anytime, Any Place. Anything really from Janet Jackson, believe it or not, she's really sexual.
all of it.
And you have all of these Black rappers. That's all they rap about.
Yes.
Oh,
It's like
Millie Jackson.
put a pill in my
how
face so it should.
they own their sexuality, which is fine. But then the second
The
Black
second-
women want to talk about being
And
sexually
it
liberated,
sounds good.
and it's successful, now we want to write, oh my gosh, one of my pet peeves is I'm seeing all of these, I've seen none from women, of course, all of these men writing these theses on what the song means and why it's culturally, it's just, I
And are those
can't-
Black men actually owning their sexuality? Let's talk about that.
They're not.
No, absolutely
And-
not. No,
They're owning the fantasy of who they think they are.
right.
Black women are actually owning their sexuality because they know what they want.
And they know what works.
Black men know what porn wants. So they try to live out that fantasy.
They don't know how to create.
There's so much internalized.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, we as a people had our sexuality stripped from us and all the, so yeah, there's of course generational curses surround, all of that, but just where I feel like Black women are in that journey and where Black men are, it's just,
It's completely different.
yeah, totally
Yeah.
different places.
And there could be, argument, because what I've heard, too, because, I like to read about all the types of things. Because there is, something to be said about the type of sexuality, that's the type of hypersexuality that we see, that we absorb in the images that are definitely, pleasing men, patriarchal images, right? And there could be argument that, these women aren't performing something they don't also know too well, right? Like, women have only been able to explore this type of femininity and hype this up and make money off of this type on an extent where every other expression doesn't. And so what does that to say? I still think, one, women rapping about pussy and
Their own.
their own pussies and doing it is still monumental and still feminism. Because, I don't like when people try to rob and try to, oh, this, why do we have to make everything, because it is. It's a political statement for these two women to write the song that they did, have an image, put it out there,
Mm-hmm.
and be successful at it. Number one. Yes, in a very interesting culture that was created by men, you know what I mean? Like, to succeed in a certain way,
But who's winning?
who's winning?
They are.
They are.
And there was no
Not the men. The men are mad that
Right.
they're doing it even better than what they thought.
And there's some men in the video to validate who they are.
None.
Zero.
None.
That's
And so, yeah, like
not
none.
necessary.
I mean, I'm going back to like the Peak Valley. Like, there's no men at the helm to validate who these women are. And again, you can just tell by the way that it's executed by the directors and the writer and the people in the room. And you know, for me, WAP is just an add-on to all of the other songs that's out there by women owning who they are,
Mm-hmm.
especially Black women. So I stand for that song. I stand for the message. If you don't want your child to listen to it, then don't have your child listening to it. But also stop having your child listen to Chris Brown.
You know
Stop
what I
having your
mean?
child listen to R.
Stop
Kelly
just picking-
still.
Ugh. Let's not
Um,
even talk about that.
Let's just have your
Boosie.
child. Right. But if you don't have a problem with them and you have a problem with WAP, then you are the problem.
Hello.
Just a big shout out to Chadwick Boseman, honoring his life, honoring the legacy that he is leaving behind. One thing that I love about this story is just the people that he surrounds himself by. No one leaked any information. No one said anything. Like, they honored him as a person and what he was going through, and that type of support, and that type of love, and that type of trust. Get folks around you that's going to honor where you're at and how you move through the world. We can talk about all of his movies and we can talk about all of that, but it's a testament to like who he has around him, and we're finding out the work that he has done, the work that he has contributed to that are not movies. And if you are about something, you don't ever have to let anybody know that you're doing this thing. You just show up, you just do the work.
Hello.
So
Very much so.
yeah, big shout out to Chadwick Boseman. On the same time that on the same day that Chadwick died, Seattle lost a very, very, very important member to their community, Rahawa Habate, and I will give the correct pronunciation of her last name. Rawa was one of the co-founders of Hitmo. Hitmo, which means home, was co-founded by Rawa and her sister. Rawa was a big part of activism in the community. She was important to a lot of us. And I'm just going to read this short article. I think this is from Seattle Times, or this short statement. But Habate was probably best known as a co-owner and prime mover at Hitmo in the Central District, which between 2006 and 2010 became a home away from home for artists, musicians, youth groups, nonprofits, activists, and neighbors. And please, someone correct me if I'm saying her last name wrong. If you ran into Rawa, and if you knew Rawa, she was just a really important member of community. And so as we're going to do something more, I just feel like we need to honor her more and her life more. So hopefully in a few weeks, maybe next month sometime, that we'll do something a little bit more in depth, celebrating Rawa. What else is happening? Kamala Harris is the VP presidential nominee
For Biden.
for Biden.
You know.
Yay!
Right.
You know.
Yay!
She was on Versus Battle with Brandy and Monica.
Where's she?
She made a debut. She said, "Oh, I love Brandy and Monica. Woo, vote!" And Versus Battle happened.
Right. I mean, she's good. Like, I'm, more good than, more positives than negatives, I guess. But yeah, the fact that like she comes with Biden, it's kind of like, I saw this bumper sticker. What was it? It was like, Biden, okay, we guess so, but we're not happy about it. I'm like, that's the bumper sticker
yeah.
that I want to put on.
I mean, we definitely have to get Trump out of the office.
We have to get him out.
But, this is who we have.
Are we excited? No. We're not excited. I have no fire. When Obama was running, I'm telling you, people were fired up, excited, not just about voting, but about the future of the country.
Right.
Honestly, like the possibilities, like, that's a leader that can inspire people. I mean, that's just, that's so hard to
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 Well,
So
no, her.
Wow.
I know we're all like, yay.
I read a thing that, she comes with, qualifications beyond any other candidate that's been VP. So that's something to, give her, her things, because, she did a lot of work in California, state that she was in, right?
Right.
I don't, my level of political, learning is very lazy. And I look up things, laughing, you know what I mean? So I gathered this. And so, she comes with, of course, her controversies, but she also does come with some good qualifications and historic ones for that matter. But like I said, I'm just like, okay, cool. You'll do for now. You know what I mean? Like, that's honestly, you'll do for now.
Mhm. Right. Right. We're
Like, is
gonna
Kanye
move.
still thinking about running? Like, I
We
would
don't have to talk about that.
Mhm.
It's a whole nother.
So,
We're gonna move to Killing It, but I wanted to start it off. I have not seen this yet, and I know people have. Black is King was killing it. I'm so late.
How have you not seen it?
I am
The fashions
so
alone.
late.
You have got.
You haven't seen Water? Baby girl.
I feel like it has to hit me. I have to be in that zen place to be like, I want to watch this. Like when a million people are watching something, I'm just like, no. I haven't
Right.
seen Homecoming yet.
I mean, that's.
That one, honestly,
Like a
you'll be fine.
performance.
Okay.
It wasn't what I
It
thought
was
it was gonna
great,
be
but
anyway.
Okay.
So
Good.
you're fine.
I was like, I haven't seen Homecoming. But apparently she's killing it, and Black is King.
More than that, it was really good.
Okay.
I think that's significant Black cinema that will
Like
be a thing. I
she-
really do.
she topped Lemonade. She topped Lemonade.
Okay.
She really did. She topped Lemonade. She definitely gave Africa her coins.
And seeing Africa in a light that's not impoverished and we're still glamorizing it, but we're still in the bar, not barrios, but and whatever. She showed the opulence, I think, of Black culture too, which I think we don't see a lot, which is why it's so. It's why to me I was like, just Black luxury, the production quality, and that's why people were talking about, classes.
And the album is so good.
I've heard the album.
With the visuals.
I just haven't
It's so good. Oh, David said you haven't seen Black is King?
No, David, I'm late.
Ooh.
I know, right?
You better give. Yeah, she did that. She did that. It was thorough.
It was Alti, maybe a little shade. Directed by Beyonce Knowles Carter. Co-director is this 12.
Yeah.
But
you know what? Give
her
her.
name is first.
Her name is Fur.
And big.
She curated. Look, she curated a really good team. She curated. And had a hand. Okay, she had a hand. There was Black. There was African, I bet, as well too. The artists that were featured. Oh my God, the brown skin girl video.
I cried. I cried throughout, but I definitely cried.
It's not that I don't want to.
No,
I just
yeah.
I gotta be in the mood. I gotta be like, oh, it's time.
It should have been.
It will hit you. It will touch you.
No, it should not.
It should have
time.
been.
I want to go to when everyone has forgotten about it a little bit.
No one's gonna do it.
No one's talking about it now, except for us. Let's be real.
It's still on the banner on Disney Plus.
But that doesn't. But people are still not going. People are still going in on Lemonade.
That's true.
Let's
there
be
was
real
a lot
about
more
that.
hype, I think.
We were in a pandemic, and things aren't happening here. Pandemic years. Let's be real. Also, Black is King was last year. In your in pandemic years.
Right.
In pandemic years, Black is King was last year. In pandemic years, Black is King was last year, right?
And people are still talking about Lemonade, and that was 3 years ago.
Mhm.
So
It's really good. Oh, it's so good.
But Beyonce, you're killing it.
Killing it.
I'm not saying that you're not. I'm just saying that you are.
Queen Bee.
Let's talk about the BTTF.
The BTTF. We've been.
What is it?
So the Washington Black Trans Task Force is a project out of Lavender Rights Project here in Seattle, and we are a program committed to answering and solving, you know, the violence that's happening to Black trans women and femmes. You know, we talked about it earlier in Seattle. We have a huge homeless population. You know, larger than it needs to be. You know, resources are there, and we, you know, in Seattle, you know, there's no organization, no program that is specifically for Black trans women. Like every other, you know, space that is shelter, you know, say, oh, we're here for, you know, but they're not. You know what I mean? You know, Black trans women, you know, when they get to these spaces, they're harassed, they're assaulted, they're, you know, made feel uncomfortable, you know, they're misgendered, they're treated, you know, like all these other things. And so we're doing a housing initiative, you know, to provide housing for Black trans women and femmes, and Indigenous folks. There's also Indigenous Black trans people out there as well, Two-Spirit folks. And yeah, since we started, you know, we were able to raise hella fucking money, you know, like start of the pandemic, you know, especially when that happened. And then since the break, we've been, you know, I've been applying for grants up the yard. And we've been developing our housing initiative. We've been meeting and, you know, making coalitions and making new, you know, connections with orgs and doing similar projects. We're finding that network. You know, we have like 3 options now. You know what I mean? We're like, okay, well, which one do we want to go? And so we've been really killing it and not giving ourselves, I think, the credit that we deserve by killing it, because, you know, it's been really just, the murders haven't stopped, the violence hasn't stopped. You know, nothing's still solidified, so it kind of feels like, you know, you can still be like moving really slow, you know, and not making any change. But, you know, we had our retreat, and I always feel like if, you know, at a retreat, everyone's on the same page, that's the success. You know what I mean? You don't want people divvying from the plan, you know what I mean? We're all in a collective agreement, and we're all putting in our love and our care and our passion into it. And it's hard as fuck, but we've been killing it. We are steady collecting all the money and donations. So if you are connected to wealth, connected to somebody who can give us some wealth, we need all the money we can, because we're trying to either secure a building, we're trying to either take a building, build a building, we're trying to do it all, you know, so we need that money. We need people to volunteer. We're gonna start putting stuff out for people who want to volunteer, because we're gonna be doing direct services, providing, you know, training, workshops, job readiness, you know, like setting people up, not just providing housing, but setting people up to live, not just on our site, but also elsewhere. And so we're moving and grooving. Things are working, you know, and it's September and we're still at it. And it's wild. So we're killing it. We're killing it. Shout out to the Washington Black Trans Task Force.
Right.
You can donate to us at lavenderrightsproject.org/WABTTF. WABTTF. And you just go to the donation part, click WABTTF, make sure your money's going to us. And yeah, our referral sheet is being developed. So if you have resources you want to give us, labor, you know, clothes, you know, I don't know, food services, you know what I mean? Like, we're trying to really make a thing happen. So get in contact. PTTF.
There's someone else who's also killing it.
Yes, our special guest. You over there with the blonde girl.
Carla Rons. Carla Rons, how are you killing it? Or should this be a Brandy telling the world how Carla Rons is killing it? And then Carla Rons will fill in.
Either or, let's act like no one knows who you are. How about that?
Let's start with, you are a musician,
Yes.
singer,
Songwriter,
producer.
Put some keys. Producer. Ooh, that's a new one. But yeah.
right?
So how did you get started in music?
Music. Well, like all good musicians, I started in the church.
Oh, what are you doing?
Me. You know, my mom had me I was playing Come to Jesus for Sunday school by the time I was like 5.
Yes, come to Jesus moment.
Yeah, I used to play with my brother who plays the drums. Yes,
You sure can.
I'm gonna act
I'm
like,
trying to be discreet.
Putting it in the frame.
we gonna act like, why we gonna act like it's not there?
While we're being secret.
I
Right.
didn't want to interrupt. I just pointed silently.
I was just like,
I was gonna bring it in front of the frame.
like, let's not act like it's not there. Like, it's fine.
It's water.
It's water. in a really cute bottle. But yes, that's you.
Fermented water.
Fermented water. Speaking of church, the wine. It's good.
Communion.
But yeah, no,
Church.
I did theater and stuff in college, and then I'm from Indiana, and I never had a chance. No one would ever listen to my music back home, ever. No one would give me a chance. No one would want to collaborate. No one really cared about my voice or my story, I feel like. And I was also very new in the process, you know, so. But when I moved to Seattle, I am telling you, and found my family, my now family, things started happening. So yeah, it's been a wild ride.
And tell us about your music. Like, what if someone's like, "There's Carla Rons," what should they expect when they hear your music?
Woo, honey. Expect honey. There may or may not be actual honey involved. It's very housey, electronic, hip hop. I just rap about and sing, rap and sing about what I know. I mean, it's true life, a lot about relationships and love. But I think my message, I think, is one of empowerment and really empowering Black people, queer Black trans people to use the full power of our voices to say what we have to say, and that, like, what we have to say is relevant and needs to be heard. And so, like, that's what I want my music to get people in the mood of, like, yeah, we can do fucking anything because we can. So yeah, what's the question?
And if you want to like support Carla Rons, look down there, Cash App, Venmo, all of that good stuff. Look down.
Down right here.
And so to support the music, so you have your music career, which is really going great. And as we know, like
How many
pandemic.
albums?
So I've released 3 independent albums. So
Wow.
far. I'm available Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, Google Play. We are working on another album that's going to be coming out next year. So that's official.
There's a cute video too with 2 people.
Vibes, the music video, the video that launched 1,000 purchases of my album. I wish. But yeah, was able to do a video with Randy Ford that was honestly encaptured the whole album and the beauty of Black joy.
It was really beautiful.
Someone says your music and visuals are gorgeous.
Thank you.
I definitely have to second that. Your lyrics are amazing. You definitely make music that isn't, like, it's not what everyone's singing about.
Right.
Like, Carla Rons can sing. I don't know if people, like, yes, he can sing, but he can sing, like, really, really well. And write and rap. And so, you know, we're going to be releasing some stuff. Stay tuned.
Not me.
We might have a Destiny's Child moment. Y'all never know.
What is some advice you can give someone who wants to put out music during a pandemic?
My
Or
advice,
just period.
is just to write. I mean, I'm not much of a writer, honestly. I do more by ear. I listen to music and beats, and that's what gets me inspired to write. And I just write about my experiences in a journal, and then do the two. But the moral is just write it down. Even if you can't get into a studio and produce it and make it sound the way you want it to sound, because that's every artist's number one drawback, is it's not going to sound radio ready when you record it in your bedroom the first time. But writing it, just getting your ideas out and on something so that you can possibly share with other people, I think is like my number one advice to anybody creative. Yeah.
I think that's good, and I think like a lot of times along with that, newer artists and just people moving into art and creating their own thing, like understand that like you're gonna keep moving towards evolving who you are. And so you also want to like be with people that's going to tell you the truth about your stuff. In your head, you are great. Sometimes what's in your head don't translate.
Look.
And it's not a negative thing, but
Yeah.
but what I've learned as an artist is just like, if I look back on my earlier stuff, it sucks. Like, it's pretty bad. And I wasn't listening to people because I'm so headstrong. And then when I started listening to people, when I started to actually know myself, my things evolved and moved into a different space. So as you are writing and working on your stuff and really don't always be in a rush to put stuff out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, take time, sit with it, understand what it is you're trying to say, so that when you put it out there, it is close to the thing that you're trying to get to. And just because someone tells you that you're great, believe that, but also believe that you can be greater than that also.
Hello.
And it's just
in there.
yeah, it just doesn't end there. And a lot of times I see, especially newer or younger or artists just getting crushed because someone has boasted them up so much and people, and then when they put it out there in front of a group of people, they're just like, they hate me to them. It's like, no, you appeal to people who didn't want to crush your dreams.
Yeah.
And so they're not going to tell you what they actually feel. And so just as artists, like it's all of that. And it's not saying don't do it, but really sit with what you're doing and trust and believe. Just trust me. You will appreciate making your stuff the thing that it is, instead of just trying to, like, I'm an artist and I'm just gonna put myself out there and like, no, boo. And then don't be a bitch to other people as an artist, especially when you're first coming out.
Oh my God. So.
Really ever.
This is a whole nother section.
Right.
But
Right.
if you want to talk about killing it, like, don't ever be nasty to the people that are trying to help you. Yes, if you work with me, you know I'm a really headstrong person and I have very clear ideas. But what I've learned to do is also listen to who's in the.
I swear I didn't do anything.
Lies. No, but she
I didn't do
got
anything.
that blank face says everything.
That's just my face.
That
Watching
blank
the
face.
No.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
I didn't know what those faces are.
It wasn't watch. I was like,
We're watching it.
here it comes. Watch the play.
See? No, we're watching the playback. Shade. All the shade. Anyway,
That's funny.
you can be headstrong, but don't be a bitch to people. So, don't be a bitch to people. So,
Yeah, and I think it goes back to what you're saying about intention, because the music I was making last December was a lot different than now, and after COVID and all that, it's really made me too think about what do I want to say? Not just what I want to say, because I have a lot to say, but what do I want to say that's going to affect the world and actually affect people, because that's what I feel like all artists should be
right.
thinking about and doing right now.
Right. And the music, you are also the father of the House of Noir. Can you talk more about the House of Noir?
Yes, the royal house.
The
Royal. I'm sorry, the Royal.
Of
You know, black people gotta be the most.
You know we have to be extra.
Extra. I'm mad at you.
all
though.
about it.
I'm not
Be
mad.
extra,
On our
extra.
Instagram, the Royal House of Noir. Yeah, we're just a group of friends and creators. We have been friends for a long time and working together for a couple years, and so naturally it just kind of formed, and we decided that we wanted to work as a collective to put on events for community and share our networks and talents and be able to broaden our own reaches and community. So yeah, House of Noir, we're the Pacific Northwest first all-black kinky house. And maybe, I don't know. But yeah,
You know.
centering Black trans women specifically.
You know,
First and foremost. Oh yeah, Randy Ford may or may not be in the house. Our very
Aisha
own
Noir.
Aisha.
Hi. Hello.
Yeah, it's just
That's it.
it goes back to family and like being able. We're so much stronger together than we are as individuals, and as individuals, we're already doing a lot of shit. So
You know.
watch out.
I would say, like, one thing that is really beautiful about the folks in your house, a great majority of the people in your house, everyone is a creative outside of the ball community. like serious like actors, singers, dancers, musicians, like you're doing all this stuff, writers, poet, like all of these things, and that only makes the visual aspect of the house bigger and brighter and stronger because you all are putting from all of these different resources, not just this idea of just the ball community. I'm not saying justice is like a bad thing, there's creative shit happening in the ball community.
Yes.
And when you add other creative influences into what you're doing, it just makes your house stronger. So I really appreciate that. And you all have an event coming up. We mentioned it earlier today, September 24th.
26.
September 26th is also my brother's birthday.
Shout out.
That was Sunday?
That's
It's a
Saturday.
Saturday.
Oh, God.
Saturday.
Saturday. Right before the Sabbath.
Right before the Sabbath, masks are required. We said it before, we'll say it
Yes,
again.
mask required.
Don't show
outdoor.
up, don't be acting crazy, y'all. We're trying to do a ball, we're trying to be socially responsible.
Centering cutie BIPOC, white people, stay to the side.
Or just don't come because we're already not trying to have it be like huge, so we'd rather have it be more the black and brown community. But if you have to be there, please, stay in the back.
DJ.
DJ Reverend Dollars.
Reverend Dollar.
Ones and twos.
Categories.
Three categories. Space, 4 eyes. It's called the Bully Ball, so it's very back to school month theme. And we're flipping back, narratives against, people like 4 eyes. We have the sex siren sissies versus tomboys.
Sex Siren is Teacher's Pet.
And sex siren is teacher's pet.
And
Runway, sorry. Runway is sissies versus tomboys. Thank you. So sex siren is teacher's pet. So you bring your sexy, teacher's pet, brown noser. Runway, come with the American, European runway. We want to see the gender flips, okay? We want to see them sissies and them tomboys strut. And there's cash prizes, all $150. So that money's gonna go to those folks. And just again, short, cute little time. It's a kiki ballroom scene, okay? We're not
6 p.m.
3 to 9, 3 to
Child, I got it all wrong.
3 to 9. I think I said 6 p.m. earlier.
You're gonna show up on the 24th.
You did say 6
I think
p.m.
I did, and I'm sorry.
I mean,
It was
I can't-
3.
Ooh, that would be
Yeah,
cool. I
we're
could.
trying to do it during the day.
Oh,
Yeah, during the day.
I have an interview at 3 with Jimmy Tatsu Poe, but I couldn't bring Jimmy Tatsu to the ball.
I mean,
Oh.
hello.
Yes. Yeah. Said there will be no voguing. We're not skinning up our feet and breathing this air and sweating like that. But bring the competition. Otherwise, bring the
Space,
looks.
Like Siren,
There's no dancing.
Runway.
There's not a Vogue. I don't know. Well, there's gonna be dancing, but there's not gonna be like a Vogue OTA.
There's no
or-
Vogue category.
There's no Vogue category. Not during this time, y'all. Not during this time. We don't
She
need to
can
be.
still come and,
You can keep
Throw
it a
some
little
hands.
bit.
That's
Throw some
right.
hands. Don't throw some hands, but throw some hands. Keep the floor work a minimal.
They're trying to look out for your safety.
We're trying to look out for your safety while
Now,
still
if you want to
answering
dip
your
on the
prayer.
cement, do not come for them.
Yeah.
They've already told you it's not going to happen.
Yes.
So, 3 to whenever it's over.
Yep.
When does the category start?
Categories will start at, was it 4? I think around 4.
Brown people.
4:30
It'll
so I
start
can
when
get to
we're
it.
ready, around 4-ish. We're still also
4:45?
raising money for
Yes.
football and paying people, so you can donate to our Cash App right now. We're working on other payment methods, but Cash App, $, the Royal House of Noir, all one word. We're gonna put it in the thing of
Yeah.
the Jigger Bob.
See if I can see.
Yes. It's gonna be a super fun time. It's gonna be judges. One of the things that I think was told to us about our house too was that we've been consistent as far as like the members, go. Because a lot of houses kind of come and go. You know what I mean? Like people want to start a Vogue house or start a ballroom house, and like it's all about kind of like let's just do it. And like, but like we've been really consistent as far as like the community work that we do,
Yes.
and again, not just being just a ballroom house, but a community house. So
Right.
we're very much for the community. So our contribution to the Kiki Ballroom scene is a little different than a lot of houses that you'll see. Because we're not trying to throw balls all the time. This is why this is our first one.
Right.
So, just keep that in mind.
Awesome.
We're all killing it. Like, Danny said. Danny, you've been pumping
I'm like, what am I
out.
doing? I'm just sitting here.
You've been pumping out conversations
Oh, yeah.
of the 9
Yeah.
since our break. When I
I
moved,
love it.
when I moved series and the intimate conversation. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Like what those are? Are they still happening? What can we look forward to as far as new conversations? What are they?
So, I love talking to people. So let's just start there. I absolutely love talking to people. The more I talk to people, the closer to my humanity that I get. I think you can learn a lot from just listening and talking to people.
I'm listening.
I was like, what did I do?
I'm so sorry.
You gave me the death look. I was like, did I say something wrong? So, intimate conversations used to be physical distancing intimate conversations. I'm the curator with Central District Forum for Arts and Ideas. So we started those conversations during quarantine. And I used to do Sunday dinner, but we can't do that now because we can't gather. Randy, she was a guest on Sunday dinner. And so I find people's stories fascinating. I'm fascinated by people. I'm fascinated by their stories and who they are. And there are people that I just like, I see from a distance or I have brief conversations with, and I'm absolutely in love with them. And I'm like, the world should know who you are. Mm-hmm. So I try to give those platforms and not like give like I'm some big person, but it's just really important for me that people are able to tell their stories because we have a lot of misconceptions about people. And I just find it important that you just need to know who people are. And it just goes back to like loving on folks because you don't know their story, you don't know where they came from. So that's intimate conversations. Again, next week, this Saturday, we have Anastasia Renee. You can find those conversations 3 p.m. on Instagram, Central District Forum for Arts and Ideas Instagram page at 3 p.m. And then the week after that, we have Jumatatu Poe.
PST.
Yes. Mm-hmm. PST, thank you. Jumatatu and Poe, just someone that I adore greatly. Dancer, choreographer, thinker, brilliant mind. And we'll have people like Quinn Johnson, who's a tap dancer, soul defying, based out of Washington, D.C. Melanie George, who is a activist, artist, dancer, in jazz dance, who currently teaches at Cornish College of the Arts, but based out of New York. Me and Melanie have been knowing each other for years back in Michigan. So we have Audra Boo, Eve Sanford, Arif Brasil. So all of those folks are coming up. Brian, why can't I think of Brian? Evans, thank you. I was like, why can't I think of Brian? Yes. So again, that's intimate conversations. When I move, you move. It started off, so I have this thing called Danny Terrell in the Congregation, and we're kind of on hold right now because we can't congregate.
That's all right.
So ain't no congregation going on. Let's just be real. But I started these series of classes a while ago where they were open to the community, especially Black and brown folks, and they didn't have to pay for classes. And we would bring teachers in and we would pay for the teachers. And this is co-directed by Michael, why can't I think of nobody's name? Michael O'Neill. Oh my God!
You know a lot of people.
And I've been drinking water, damn. Sober and can't think of nobody's name. That's my life. And then it moved into a class where I was teaching class. Now it's moving into these conversations. There's a lot of conversations happening with Black dancers in the country, but nobody from the Pacific Northwest are ever involved in these conversations. So I decided to start it here in Seattle. So we've had a conversation with Randy, David Rue, who else was that? Naomi Makalada. Who's some other folks in that conversation? Marquise Wiley. I'm missing somebody.
Michelle. Really?
No, we didn't have a conversation. Michelle wasn't on the conversation. Amanda.
Sorry, on the panel.
On the panel, yeah. Yeah, so we had a lot of folks. Ron Gasper from Purple Lemonade. So, and then we had another conversation with that. So it's just talking about dance, Black dancers. We're trying to set up another conversation with people that are involved inside of the Vogue, Ballroom, Kiki scene community in the Northwest. boop, with some other guests.
Look at Stefan. Right on time. Almost like
Stefan is one of them.
them.
Who's on our Instagram right now. So we're building that conversation. And again, these conversations are important for me because if you know me, you know I stand for Black people. I don't ever waver from that. I stand for Black people because I love Black people that much. And anything that I can try to do within my ability to lift up Black folks and Black voices, that's just why I have these conversations. That's why I do the work that I do.
Mm-hmm.
That's why this platform is important to me. And it's not saying that nobody else's voice is important. I believe everybody's voice is important. But we tend to open up our platforms to everybody.
Yes.
And when we talk about Black trans women being killed and murdered, I don't want a white trans man on that panel. I don't care what you have to say. And I'm not saying that you don't experience a level of violence. I'm not saying that that white trans women don't experience a level of violence. But I want to hear from Black trans women. I want to uplift and center those voices. So that is why I have the conversation that I have. And also, if you find non-Black people on these conversations, this is because I know that these people will stand in front of me and take the bullet for me. And they have proven that time and time again. And there's not a lot of non-Black people that will do that. I don't care how much you are an ally and you stand in solidarity. There are very few non-Black people that will stand in front of a Black person and take the bullet. I'm fortunate enough to know a few of those people.
Just a few.
Just like on my hand, and I'm not using all the hands, all the fingers.
Just a few.
So those are those conversations. Outside of dance, I love this arena of talk. I love this arena of like these conversations and getting to know people again. And so that's what I've been doing.
Also, your photo series.
Yes.
Oh.
Let's not forget about Danny literally shutting down the internet.
I was like,
With
hold
the
on. How are you
photo
doing
series dumping out of probably what? You take a lot of your photos in the studio.
They're all here.
Literally.
They're
here.
literally all. So
Mhm.
when you get old,
Speak on it, please. Give us something.
when
to
you get
record.
old, you don't give a fuck no more. That's what that is.
Okay.
So last year I was like, I turned 45 last year, and I was like, I want to put out 5 art projects, a major art project a year until I turn 50. And I was like, okay, great, have it all lined up, and then, cats happen, and then the pandemic happened.
You know. Too soon.
Right. I just gotta blame the thing on the thing. So the pandemic happened, and even before the photo series, it was December. I was just like, I want to do a photo. I mean, even before this year, I was like, I want to do a photo series, and I don't know what it looks like. I just want to do it. And so I was like, okay, I'll do it. I'll take my time with it. And again, so the photos had nothing to do with the pandemic. Like, that's real boss moves. When you think about stuff before the thing happened, because everybody's thinking about their art in pandemic mode. I was like, no, I want to do this shit like way before pandemic.
Right.
And a lot of times people don't think that. It's like, oh, you're at home and you're bored. I was like, no, I actually thought about this like fall of 2019 that I wanted to do this thing.
Hello.
It just so happened that a pandemic came. And so it forced me to create, right. And so I turned 46 this year, and I was like, well, why can't this be an art thing? I'm not a photographer. I'm not a makeup artist. Like, I'm none of that. But it was important for me to do it. Excuse me. It was important for me to challenge myself. And I just go back to, like, as artists, the way that you evolve your art form is to not do the same stuff time after time. If I'm not challenging myself to do something, I can create a dance in a minute. Like, that's easy.
Okay.
But I'm also not interested in that right now. So I set up this studio, like, thank you, Dom Thomas, for the clip lights and the gels. Thanks to my husband for helping me rig a bar. I have multiple things that I purchased on the cheap that you can help create photos. And I literally use just this device for the photos. And the photos are different parts of myself.
Yes.
The photos are ways that I see myself. Thank you.
Very
Appreciate that.
beautiful.
Stunning.
And I just was trying stuff. It was just self-expression. Like literally would be here for hours, setting up, putting on makeup, the costuming, like hours. It was so therapeutic also.
Mm.
It was just like that thing of like I was just in the zone.
I think you can see it in the
Oh, thank
photos. I mean, you can just feel that it was like your expression, just unfiltered. Just doing art for art.
Thank you.
And for the joy of it. Like I think that's why they were so moving.
Thank
At least to me. Yeah.
Oh, I really appreciate that.
Absolutely, Danny.
Yeah.
And when you sent me that email to like contribute, I
Yeah.
was like, I'm honored. I'm writing all the
Yeah.
fucking shit.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's so good and so needed.
Thank you.
It's
And
so needed.
yeah, and I didn't rely on like an institution or anything like that to like try to help. Like it was for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I really hesitated putting them out there for people, but I was just like, oh, why not? Like, they even got naked in photos, like showing
Naked,
all the
yes.
thickness, which, anybody knows me, I don't like that. But again, it was just for me, it was liberating. Honoring my mom, which I talk about a lot, and my aunt who passed away this year. So it was that. And again, just when you do something for yourself, I think even when I hear these reactions, it still shocks me. But I realized I was doing it for myself. I really was not doing it to do anything, but to just do it for myself. And so when people like reacted to the photos in the way that they did, it really did shock me. I was just like, I'm like, that wasn't right? You know that was like I was like looking at all the flaws. But folks were definitely into it. So I will do some more photos. Yeah.
Please.
And it's really for myself. It's really like no photographer, just this. I'm just having fun.
Mhm.
People have asked me, can I get a photo? Can I pay for it? And I feel like the minute I start selling them or that type of thing, like it's going to take away from why I'm doing them.
Mhm.
So sometimes you just have to like give. And if people want to donate, that's great. But I'm not doing it to try to collect any money. I'm not doing it to try to do any of that. I have to do it for myself. So that's what the photos are for. We're coming close on time. Want to talk about your music?
Okay, sure. We can do the quick plug of the music.
Why are you acting like you don't want to talk about it? I plug up my
Just a quick
music that I'm
The
feeling
world
it
needs to know.
because you
The
on
world
the
needs to
path.
know, and because this is the thing. So one, yes, I'm working on new music, and I'm trying to again do what I want to do. That's not just the same thing. Relying on a dance show. I don't want to dance right now. I'm realizing that I don't want to dance right now, and I'm taking notes. Like, I don't want to dance right now. Not that I don't ever want to dance. I just don't want to dance right now. And I've been writing, as you all know, and you all know, but it's actually coming together. I have a director for a video project that's going to be worked on. This video is not going to be automatically released, but we're working on visuals. We're giving you a Black is King production moment. I just got word that I potentially have access to a green drop top for our project.
Stop.
Yes.
You're not ready.
You're not ready.
Not ready.
So yeah,
I still haven't asked the bitch to make a cameo.
it's going
I
to
can't.
happen.
Lies.
It's going to happen. So the thing that's why, because all this production, so many things always seem to get in the way of us trying to do things for ourselves, like the world ending, the world on fire, like
Earth is trying to
depression,
burn us all.
and some
Cats.
cats,
Cats.
And so I'm trying to push through and not have an excuse, right? Like,
Right.
I'm trying to move through the uncomfortable. I'm not trying to, like, oh, it didn't sound how I wanted to sound, because again, I'm very sensitive when it comes to my voice, and it's like,
They can still ask the bitch so she can at least be ready.
When you say
Can you be ready?
When you
I know,
say
we already know you're ready. We know
Maybe not.
we know that she's ready. It's going to happen. I've been really working on writing. I've been writing. It's weird to call myself this new thing.
Y'all,
Even though-
y'all don't understand. I don't know if anyone has read any of Randy's work, but this is not like your normal basic lyrics. Like, we're talking real shit, beautifully, I mean, wordplay. It's
When you
just,
live through some shit, you are able to put some shit out there.
a well of experience. I'm excited for you. I think people need to
When
hear.
you care about your story and not caring about the applause and accolades,
Look,
then you can put some stuff out there.
That's
Look.
real.
real. So real. So real. So real. 100.
When you do it for yourself.
Do it for yourself. Yes, dream big. Yes, have expectations. Yes, want the world. But ultimately, I'm not doing it for people. I really am not. That's why I think I'm just like, oh, you want to hear it? Sure. And I want to get it out because if I don't get it out, I'm gonna keep
It's stuck here and you
holding it.
Yes.
filled
And-
with
yeah.
stuff.
You know what I mean? And so I'm working on not being so selfish with the things that are artistic in me. I want to just get them out, push it out, not have any expectations, definitely not put out just anything. You know what I mean? But it's been really amazing, kind of diving into this process. I mean, I had a residency that, allowed me to write and create, stuff with this visual. I'm learning what it is like what I did for Queen Street was like, a very similar format for me to do this work. It's the year anniversary week of the opening of Queen Street this week, so it's all really weird right now for me as well too. Plenty more things to also announce in the future regarding that, and so there's been a lot happening with me and this new music. I'm really excited because it really is going to be another peak, an extension of Queen Street. The physical show into now an audio kind of journey, visual journey. Saw Black is King once and was like, ugh, let's do it. So we're trying. We're gonna give you a little Pacific Northwest, Black is Queen,
Hello.
and it's gonna be great. I'm excited.
Hey. Let's just talk about this for a minute.
Yes,
It's
bitch.
Do you have another 2 hours?
You know what I mean?
This gonna go real quick.
It's gonna go real quick, maybe not. We have 2 great topics.
I'm just gonna go mine real quick.
Do yours.
So, y'all know I stand for WAP. There's been a lot of WAP challenges by non-black people
Speak on it.
talking about their wet ass pussies,
And dry
No,
out.
that's right.
and it's dry. It's real dry.
With their dry legs
Yes.
that they don't wash.
And the only reason they're getting in touch with their dryness is because black women are getting in touch with their wetness. And I'm always upset at these challenges because one, I just see them as a form of blackface, and this is coming from non-black people. I see them as a form of blackface, and I rarely ever see non-black people doing these challenges also standing for black women and their pain and their struggle. So black women can give you this song that you can go and find your inner black woman. But when black women actually need you to like fight for them and stand for them and say their name and do all of these things,
Where the fuck are you?
crickets. And
29.
so, yeah, so I saw someone's video and it just enraged me because it's like publicly, if you can put out this video and and you can do all this stuff and get accolades as a non-black person, black facing black dance, then you should publicly really be fighting for black women, black trans women, black people in general. And when I don't see you do that, it really just makes me so mad. Because again, black women are giving you a gift that you keep on taking and taking and taking and taking and taking as their lives are being taken. And you are not doing anything. And I mean, you collective, you are not doing anything, but you want to put out these challenges and you want to put out this stuff because black women have empowered you to talk about something that in your circle of non-blackness you wouldn't want to talk about.
Ever.
So I just want the challenge, we stand for Black women challenge to happen.
Say that.
And again, I need TikTok to stop editing these songs to fill, because that's some wet is not what I want to listen to. I want to hear wet ass pussy.
Right.
Like, I want to hear it. If the kids can't dance to it, it don't need to be a challenge back.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
let's stop making, because TikTok's like kids on TikTok.
Right.
Like kids. And I'm David said macaroni in a pot. You know, like,
Right.
yeah, I definitely, when you said blackfacing, it's a form of blackfacing.
It is.
It is very
Mhm.
interesting. Like, now that I think about it, yeah, just like, the willingness to make these challenges, but no willingness to, like, again, do all the other stuff.
Right.
Which, and I think a key word you said is publicly fight for Black women, because I mean, there are people out here who are, they're doing some work, behind the scenes. But if you're gonna put out a challenge, a video that's getting you thousands of views, but then there is no public, acknowledgement of the work that you're doing or what you stand for, then are you really
You want a cookie that you can work.
Yeah.
You
Right.
can
trying here for it?
Right. So that's my bitch, please. Like, y'all just find something else to do.
Yeah.
Do the Michelle Branch challenge. What was that song?
Something. What song is that?
Vanessa Carlton.
Vanessa Carlton.
Do one of
Make your way
them.
downtown. You better make your way on downtown and vote. That part.
There's no Taylor Swift challenge.
There's none. Why aren't there where are the Taylor Swift challenges?
You gotta have music that people can dance to.
But you want the sexy black, overtly hypersexual, hyper feminine, black, dance. You want to do that, and then you want to see that. You want how many people texted me wanting me to do that challenge? Also, or wanting me to do my own rendition of WAP.
Oh my God, sent it to you.
You know what I
You
mean?
should
Like,
And also how incredibly horrible that is about your body as a Black trans woman, that this is something that they thought that you would want to do. And if you're going to do it, you're going to do it on your own.
Right.
But it's like, there's no I need you to do a challenge, Randy, of empowering Black trans women.
Right.
Did you get those texts?
Right.
Okay.
do better.
Thank you.
So sit with your dry ass pussy.
Sit with it. Enjoy the wet ass pussy that you're getting, but stop trying to make that wet ass pussy yours.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's not yours.
No.
It's Megan and Cardi's.
Yeah.
And
And other Black women who
other Black women who
have been denied.
ooh,
Let's talk about that.
withheld. Who have been withheld.
Who have been denied their humanity and sexuality.
Mm.
And so now that they're claiming that for themselves and they're standing in that, you're still benefiting from something that you've denied them, that you all have denied them.
Mm-hmm. Continue to deny.
Yeah, the world is on fire, at least the
Literally.
West Coast.
Actually.
We can't breathe.
We can't breathe, and it's on some bullshit. Can you believe that there's smoke hitting New York
Yeah,
from the fire?
my family's getting smoke in Michigan.
Like, what? Do you know how large this country is? To where the smoke has reached the
Because you
middle,
wanted people to know that you had a girl or a boy.
but you just really need that gender reveal. You really, now the whole world knows that you had a baby.
Right.
And you reveal the gender, we don't give a fuck. Because we want you to.
I mean, if you insist on forcing gender norms on your kid, can we just go back to the cake? I mean, with this blue or pink, do we need to blow up
The world.
half the country to announce the genitals of your baby? I just don't. I'm missing. There's some disconnect. I don't get it.
Can there be a reminder that gender destroys the world, maybe? Maybe this can be the reminder that when you gender the world will literally suffer. Maybe let's get rid of it. And cats, you know what I mean? Cats and gender are
And watch
literally
cats before
burning up the world.
They had playing at the gender reveal.
Right. And they were also
Yeah.
protect yourselves out there, please.
Get an N95 mask. Those are the only things that protect you from the
Yes, get
sun.
the N95. The
Yes.
cloth ones don't work. I know they help us think that they work, but they do not work. Stay inside if you can.
Keep your ass inside.
Keep your ass inside. Yeah,
Yeah.
stop eating out. Stop
going to the
eating
bar.
out.
Can I tell y'all something? We were in DC. Marlon and I do not eat out in restaurants. These folks were out like it was like summer of '69. Like, folks were just like, hey, I was like, are we still in the pandemic?
The pandemic stopped over here.
They're on yachts.
Yachts.
They were out. The waterfront was packed.
Water.
And I was like, don't touch me. No.
Back up.
Like,
Go home.
it was like DC was lit.
Ugh.
It
Chocolate City.
was so. That's a whole nother conversation because we gotta go.
We have to go.
Oh my God, let's just
David said
say.
people are out here with that socioeconomic gap. These gender reveals are a mess.
Yes, yes.
Hot mess.
And not
Flaming
Michelle Branch.
mess.
Not Michelle.
Michelle Branch challenge, y'all.
Well, they need
Come
to.
to TikTok.
They need to.
Tic-tac.
Every
Tic-tac,
day is a
tic-tac.
wrong way. Do that challenge. Hey,
Y'all got
do that
But
challenge.
we can't give them too much inspiration. They're gonna take our idea. Like, come up with it on
They
their
can
own.
have
Come up,
that
that's
one.
all you get.
Yeah,
This
they
snack.
can have
That's
that
all you get. This
Right,
snack.
right,
Not giving too
right,
much now. Look,
right,
not giving too much.
right. We've been with you for 2 hours. We know it's a long time. It's our first time back, so we try to like give everything that we could
You know,
give. We always end this with my favorite question.
it's a really great reminder.
What is your joy? Speaking of what is your joy, next Friday, I am going to be in a webinar with one of my most favorite people in the world,
Ooh.
Cleaver Cruz.
Ooh.
Cleaver Cruz consistently talks about Black joy, and how we even met to talk about Black joy was amazing. It was literally like the stars, planets aligned. God was in alignment because we knew nothing about each other. But the week before we met, Cleaver received a message about me,
Work.
not knowing that I was going to be at this thing in New York,
Whoa.
and they were in New York also. So it's only for Black people. I didn't set it up. Cleaver did.
Oh, that darn Cleaver.
So if you all want the link to the webinar, it's free. You just have to register. I will, if you're Black, just let me know and I'll send it to you because you know how people are. Say only for Black people. So I'm excited to talk about Black joy with Cleaver. So more information coming with that. So last question is, what is your joy? Who wants to go first? Everyone's like,
I know I have it. My joy. I had it. My joy has definitely been with. It's been with myself. Definitely has also been with. I've been catching up with a lot of folks, and just really, especially through this breakup, I've been able to really be affirmed by like my lovely chosen family and community, and my mom has been amazing. We've been able to really be.
yes, we're taking a picture.
Yes.
You'll know why I'm taking this picture.
Right.
Yes.
But yeah, my mom and I have been able to get really close. We're trying to call each other every day more, especially since our filming of Truth or Drink. It got really deep. You're gonna see a lot. A lot of it got really deep. It got really deep and really real. And I went over and like she held me. Like after we got drunk more. But Vanessa calls it enough. Yeah, my joy has been right now just it's been spread out in all the things. And so I have a lot of things to be joyous about.
My Black joy, or just my joy in general, but it has been music for sure. It's just refinding that purpose and redirecting the purpose. It's been really fun to like actually put all this energy and frustration and all of this towards art, and like art that means something like that just gives me so much joy. But also my joy is seeing other Black people being happy right now because things are so crazy. Like Niecy Nash, like the wedding, like seeing other Black joy is gonna be Black joy. When WAP came out, I was like, oh, yes.
Yes.
Can we just let Black women be magic and beautiful and celebrated and like not write a thesis on every damn thing that they do, please?
Right.
But yeah, Black joy is other joys, bringing me joy. So like, it's okay to be happy right now, y'all.
Yeah. Yes.
It's important to, I think, not to be happy, but to find joy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of your self-care work.
Certainly.
Yeah, I would say my joy is definitely and slowly revealing this. The reason that we were going to DC is that we were really thinking about moving there. That won't happen until next year if we do make that choice. And I was like gonna keep it a secret, but I'm like, it's making me joyful and happy to even think about it. And I'm finding peace inside of that. And sometimes we keep so many things like quiet, but I'm putting out there in the universe is like, this is what we want to do. This is what we're talking about. It's time for some new adventures. It's time to, do something. I also don't want to be old and bitter in Seattle trying to like do the same thing and be mad because all the younger people are like, I've done a lot here. So it's time to like do something else. It puts us closer to family. And so my joy is like being able to talk with my husband, talk with Mr. B about like, what does that look like? And also know like something may keep us here. So realistically it's like moving towards going to the other Washington. And also know that it may keep us here. So that is my joy. My joy is coming back on this platform. It definitely is a part of my mental health to do this. And thank you, Carla Rons, for being a part of this with us. Really, really, really appreciate it. We're gonna have you come back, Carla Rons.
Yes,
just saying.
Great.
Yeah, and being here with Randy and Missy J. Mason III, but again, purpose. You got to find those things that will help your mental health during this time. Next week we may be social distancing, but this week I feel like we needed to be together. We needed to be in the same space. We needed to like love on each other in this way.
Absolutely.
And we hope you all feel that. And that's it. We'll be back next week with we don't know what. We really don't know what. Mason maybe with us next week. We don't know yet. Maybe Carla Rons again. And maybe somebody else. Who knows?
Endless.
Yes. So thank you all. We will see you all later. Thank you for joining us. Yes. And you all have a really beautiful night.
Bye.
Wait, who are we? Wait, let me go back up to this.
Oh yeah. Let's go back. Make
We're
sure
in
you
the
know.
living
We're in the
room.
living room.
Yes.
See you next week, y'all.
All right. Bye.
Bye.